Welcome to DS Trucks. If you have a Super Duty with the extended running boards, you might notice that they do not feel as solid as you would like, and that is the running board that actually extends past the cab of the truck and around to the bed of the truck and gives you a step that you can stand on to get in your truck. Now you see I'm standing on this, it seems solid and all mine are solid, but I want to show you guys how I made mine feel solid and how you can make yours if you feel like they are not as solid as they could be or should be. You can make yours a lot more solid, so stay tuned to this video. I did ask a lot of people how they felt about their running boards, and a lot of people said that they feel flimsy, and I think I know why. Now normally there are only 3 mounting points for this longer running board, and essentially this running board is solid aluminum. Well, it's not solid, it's hollow tube aluminum, but it actually is aluminum. It just has a plastic cover. This is all aluminum here, and it does have a plastic cover. Camera's freaking out a little bit, but this is all aluminum right here, and it has a plastic cover, so it's not really a different section of material. It's all one piece of material here. The downside is, like I say, it's only got 3 mounting points. It adds a mounting point in the rear, but when you get the extended running boards, it actually removes the mounting point up front. It removes one of them, so you have one here, and on a standard running board you have another mounting point right here by the driver's door. And let me take you underneath and show you guys. This bracket under normal circumstances is not installed on the truck. So what happens is you stand on the end of the running board here, and when you stand on the end of the board, this end wants to drop down and it flexes the whole board. And some people have even told me that their plastic doesn't even fit good anymore because it's so flimsy that the plastic actually started coming off. Now, what I've done to strengthen the whole setup is I've added that extra bracket. It's an OEM forward bracket. It's the bracket that comes on a normal running board, so it's easy to find, easy to get. You could probably grab it on eBay. You can probably get one from the dealer, whatever, and you can easily add that bracket in. So I'm gonna show you guys how I added that bracket. Here is the clip. Roll it. All right, guys, so like I said, with the old running board, there is a third bracket right here that is adding a ton of extra rigidity that is not here on the new one. And also it has this black Super Duty, which makes the truck look a lot cleaner instead of seeing everything that you have alongside of the truck. Check it out. Everything that's like on the frame, you're gonna see that stuff without that Super Duty plastic insert. So we are gonna reinstall that on this new one. Now, the issue with doing this is there are no mounting holes to install the plastic. So looking at this, the plastic, make sure I don't scratch nothing up, but looking at the old one, the plastic has inserts that are push pin. So it's just holes and push pins. Now looking at the new one, there are no holes. Now, being that this is aluminum, it's incredibly easy to drill into and it doesn't corrode. So if you just drill some holes and put in your plastic push pins, the aluminum will not corrode. Aluminum does not really rust like steel. It will corrode on the surface and then seal itself out, and it should not be an issue. So that's what we're going to do. We're also going to add our bracket right here, which is going to add a ton of support and rigidity. We're going to put that here. But if you notice, looking at the running board, there are absolutely no holes here in the aluminum for the bracket. So we're also going to add those holes as well, and I'm going to show you guys how I deal with that and how I add the J clips to this. Now adding a J clip is a little bit more difficult, but I'll show you guys how it's done, and that way when I put these new running boards on, they will be just as firm and as sturdy as it was. Now if you have these extended running boards, then you don't have that bracket, and if you want to add that bracket, stay tuned because you'll see how to do it. I will say, these extended running boards do feel more secure with the use of the third bracket. But anyway, let me go ahead and get this plastic guard removed, and I'll show you guys that next step. All right, guys, so here is the setup that we are going to use so that we can install J-clips to secure our third bracket. Wow, why they removed the third bracket? I guess because without that plastic part that is not technically supposed to be on there, but I think it looks better with it. Without that plastic part, it looks a little busy with 3 of these hanging down versus just having 2. Looks a little cleaner, I guess, but less support, not cool in my book. But so essentially what I'm going to do to install these J-clips so that the new running board actually has securement to the bracket, the third bracket, is I'm going to take my small bit, I'm going to put a pilot hole through, and then I'm going to follow through with this larger bit which mimics the size of the factory hole. From there, I'm going to take my hole saw and put a hole next to that hole, next to that hole, next to that hole, so that through that hole you can install the J-clip. Now for the hole saw, I'm going to use my smallest one. I think that will work. If not, then I'll have to get a bigger one, but hopefully that works. I think it'd be okay, just enough to slip in this J-clip. And that's essentially what they've done here. You can see they've drilled this after the fact. So being that it's aluminum, it's not going to be really an issue with corrosion. Like I say, it should seal itself out. There are tons of holes on here already drilled. This is a look at one of the holes that is drilled. Eventually, I guess it would spread, but you know, it should be all right. This is just polished aluminum, so it shouldn't be a big issue. But anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can show as much of this as possible. It might be a little bit time consuming, but anyway. All right, so here we are. Let's get to work. So on all the other ones, they are staggered. So it's not like 1, 2. It's like 1 here, 1 here. And I guess they were getting a little cheap because I don't know why they didn't put 4, but I guess 4 is not needed. But temporarily, this is mounted temporarily with just 1 bolt. Maybe I should tighten both. I don't know if that really would affect anything. Seems like it's maybe I will tighten both just to get the best mock-up that I can. Let me tighten the second one. So yeah, tightening both definitely did make a difference. So let's go ahead and set ourselves up for the first set of holes. Let's see here. Now I can either do the small pilot or I could just go for the win with the big one. The issue with going for the win with the big one is it scratches the paint on the scratches the paint. Now if I go with the small one, I don't know, maybe I'll just go with the big one. If I go with the small one, I'll have to try to eyeball it, and if it walks at all on me, then it won't be in the right spot. So it's probably gonna walk just a little bit, and then the holes won't line up good. So I guess it's better to just have a little bit of scratching on the bracket, which honestly, on the other hand, the bracket wouldn't even be on here. It's pretty thick metal, so it's not gonna rust out or nothing. But I mean, you're talking 20 years down the road anyway. But so yeah, just a staggered, it doesn't matter which ones, I don't think, but yeah, just going through here, first hole. All right, now that the bracket is out of the way, it's time for me to make 2 hole saw holes with my small hole saw so that I can get the J-clip onto the truck. Now this part's difficult because it's all by eye. It's all eyeballed. So it's a little difficult. Hopefully I can get a good shot here. But yeah, here we go. If I'm too short, then it won't fit. Or if I'm too short, it'll be weak. If I'm too long, it'll be, and it won't fit. So we'll see. first hole through. All right, let's see if that works. There's a J-clip. And honestly, that's about as good as it gets. No, J-clip, it's been used, so it doesn't want to latch. So I'm gonna bend this a little bit so it can latch. Be right back. All right, bent the J-clip a little bit so it can latch. And here we go. Perfect. It honestly couldn't be any better. Couldn't be any better. Let me give you guys a close-up so you can see how that looks. Yeah, J-clip installed. Got to drill one more big hole, and right here, and our other J-clip will go. It doesn't get any better. It couldn't be any closer. And yeah, it looks good. So I got to put one more J-clip hole here. Hopefully I can nail that just like I nailed this one. Let's see. All right, and there you have it. 1, 2 J-clips installed. So our bracket is just not free hanging. All right, let's go ahead and put our bracket on. All right, bracket, careful, don't scratch nothing up. And up she goes. Now here's the tricky part. I gotta wiggle this thing around in here so I can catch this tab. There we go. Boom, 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 and then this is the little tab that I had to catch so that it fit well. All right. From here, we should be able to tighten these screws. I think roughly lining these up. Also, could technically hand start these. And then we'll tighten these up and then tighten these up. And that's pretty much it. Bracket installed. All right, guys, so that is how we added the bracket to the truck. And we also added the plastic insert that says Super Duty that does not come with this running board. And I think it turned out pretty good. Comment below, let me know how you guys think it turned out. And I also did a whole video of the install of the running boards. So if you want to check that out, click right there and you can check out the video of the install of the running boards. But anyway, this is DS Trucks. My name is Sean. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one and have a great day. Bye.